Welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so that you never miss any of our story. April 6th, 1945, 5:55 a.m., Kanoya Air Base, Kyushu, Japan. His name is Ichizo Hayashi. He is 23 years old. He has a university degree in philosophy. Last night, he wrote a letter to his mother that began, "Please do not grieve for me." In 4 hours, he will fly his aircraft directly into an American warship. He is not insane. He is not a fanatic. He is a young man who was told by the government of his country that this was the only way left to defend Japan. That his death, if it destroyed one American ship, might delay the invasion of the Japanese homeland long enough to force a negotiated peace. He believed them, or perhaps he had simply run out of reasons not to. Today, April 6, 1945, he is one of 355 kamikaze pilots who will take off from airfields across Kyushu. Together, they will execute the largest single kamikaze operation of the entire war, a mission the Japanese called kikusui, meaning floating chrysanthemums. And what happens today will be the most terrifying day the United States Navy has experienced since Pearl Harbor. By April 1945, Japan had lost almost everything. The Navy that had struck Pearl Harbor, that had swept across the Pacific in 6 months of stunning victories, was gone. At the Battle of Leyte Gulf in October 1944, the largest naval battle in history, Japan had lost 4 carriers, 3 battleships, 10 cruisers, and 11 destroyers. What remained of the Imperial Japanese Navy was, for all practical purposes, no longer a fighting fleet. The Air Force that had ruled the Pacific skies in 1941 and 1942 had been ground down in 3 years of attrition against an American industrial machine that was producing aircraft faster than Japan could destroy them. By 1945, Japan was sending pilots into combat with fewer than 100 flight hours. Some had as few as 40. They were not pilots. They were passengers in aircraft they barely understood. And now the Americans had landed on Okinawa, an island 340 miles from the Japanese home islands, the largest amphibious assault in the Pacific War. 1,300 ships, 183,000 troops. The clear intention: use Okinawa as the staging base for the invasion of Japan itself, planned for November 1945. Japan's military leadership looked at what was coming and reached a conclusion. Conventional defense could not stop it. They needed a weapon that did not require pilot skill, a weapon that could be produced in large numbers from inexperienced men, a weapon that even a 40-hour pilot could deliver effectively. The aircraft itself would be the weapon, and the pilot would go with it. They called it Toko, the special attack. The rest of the world called it Kamikaze, the divine wind, named after the typhoons that had twice destroyed Mongol invasion fleets heading for Japan in the 13th century. The name was chosen deliberately. Japan was praying for another miracle. The Western image of the kamikaze pilot has for decades been shaped by wartime propaganda on both sides, the Japanese government presenting them as willing, even joyful martyrs, the Americans presenting them as fanatical robots, stripped of humanity by ideology. The reality, as revealed by the letters, diaries, and testimonies that survived the war, is far more complicated and far more human. The majority of kamikaze pilots in 1945 were not volunteers in any meaningful sense. The word volunteer requires a genuine choice. When a unit commander asks for volunteers in a military culture where refusal means shame for yourself, for your family, for your ancestors, there is no real choice. Most signed the forms, most said yes, because there was no other answer available to them. Ichizo Hayashi, the philosophy student who wrote "Please do not grieve for me," wrote his final diary, "I am not dying for the emperor, I am dying for the people I love." He made a list: his mother, his younger sister, his university friends. He did not mention the emperor at all. Heihachi Okabe, another kamikaze pilot who died in February 1945, wrote, "I am 20 years old and I still have a long way to go, but I have lived without shame." He spent his last evening playing cards with his friends. Ryoji Uehara, 22 years old, a philosophy student, wrote his final letter as a critique of Japanese militarism itself. He believed in liberalism, not in the ideology he was being asked to die for, but that he loved Japan enough to die for its people regardless. His letter was suppressed by Japanese military censors and not published until 1995. These were not fanatics. They were young men caught in a machinery of war and ideology that had closed every other door. Tell me in the comments, do you think the Kamikaze campaign changed the decision to drop the atomic bomb? And does it matter, morally, that many of these pilots didn't truly choose to be there? Subscribe if you are not already. The next video on this channel goes inside the battle that made Okinawa possible, and the men on both sides who knew by then exactly what they were fighting towards.
What you